Have you ever walked away from someone feeling tired, heavy, or strangely sad, even though nothing bad happened? If yes, you might be dealing with someone who drains you emotionally. Today, I'll show you 7 subtle signs you should never ignore. Some people don't hurt you directly. They hurt you slowly, quietly, invisibly. And sometimes you don't even realize it until you feel empty. Let's go through these signs together. And while you listen, ask yourself, does someone in my life make me feel this way? Sign number 1, you always feel guilty around them. They don't accuse you directly, but somehow you're always the one apologizing. You feel guilty for saying no, guilty for setting a boundary, guilty for having your own life. You mention you can't make their last-minute plan, and they just sigh and say, "Oh, okay," with a tone that makes you feel like you've just ruined their entire week. Guilt is their silent weapon. Sign number 2, your energy drops instantly when they text or call. Pay attention to your body. That little jolt in your gut, the tightening in your stomach, the immediate urge to just ignore it.
When you see their name pop up on your screen and your first reaction is a heavy sigh, your body is telling you something your mind hasn't accepted yet. That is not a normal reaction to someone you enjoy. Sign 3. They constantly play the victim. Nothing is ever their fault. The world, their job, their ex, someone is always out to get them. And you get cast as the permanent rescuer. You listen, you advise, you support, but it's a black hole. Your energy goes in and nothing comes out. They don't want solutions, they want an audience for their endless misfortunes, which leads directly into sign 4. Their life is a constant storm of drama. There's always a crisis, always a fire to put out, always a conflict brewing. They pull you into their chaos, making you a supporting character in their never-ending soap opera. And you find yourself spending your precious mental energy worrying about their problems, leaving you with nothing left for your own peace. Sign 5. The conversation is a one-way street. They lack empathy. When you finally share something you're struggling with, they listen just long enough to find a way to pivot the conversation back to themselves. That sounds rough. That actually reminds me of what I'm going through. You walk away from the conversation feeling completely unheard. Because you were. Sign number 6. They are masters of the subtle put-down, the backhanded compliment, the constant low-grade criticism that chips away at your self-esteem. They focus on flaws, yours and everyone else's, and it creates this fog of negativity. After a while, their critical voice can start to sound like your own, making you second-guess your every move. And the final sign, number 7, they disregard your boundaries. Your no is not a wall, it's a hurdle they try to overcome. You say you need space, they call more. You say you're busy, they guilt you for it. Recognizing these signs isn't about labeling someone as bad, it's about protecting your own well-being. It's about understanding that your emotional energy is a finite, precious resource, and you get to decide who is worthy of it. Your peace is non-negotiable. Picture this. You get that piece of news you've been waiting for. The breakthrough, the offer, the clean bill of health. Your first instinct is to call them, your voice buzzing with excitement as you start to explain, and then the pivot. The conversation somehow turns to their terrible commute that morning, or how your news reminds them of an opportunity they missed out on. Suddenly, you're not celebrating, you're performing emotional first aid. You're comforting them, advising them, talking them through their feelings about your moment. You spend your energy propping them up, and when you hang up, your own achievement feels hollow. It's a classic one-way street. You give and you give, but when you're the one running on empty, when you need that same support, all you get back is silence. That feeling of depletion leads right into the next sign. This one is less of an action and more of an atmosphere. You know it in your bones. It's the feeling of walking on eggshells. Before you speak, you're running a mental checklist. Is this the right time? How should I phrase this so they don't take it the wrong way? You find yourself carefully curating your own experiences, editing out the parts you think might upset them. You apologize for things that aren't your fault, just to keep the peace. This constant monitoring, this active managing another person's emotions for them, is a heavy, invisible weight. It's called emotional labor, and it is one of the most exhausting jobs on the planet. And what about when you're not managing their bad moods, but trying to share your joy? This is where the drain can feel the most personal. You share something wonderful, a new relationship, a creative breakthrough, a goal you finally met, and instead of meeting your excitement with their own, they react with almost nothing. Maybe it's a flat, "Oh, cool." Or they immediately bring up someone who did it better. Or in a classic move, they make it about themselves. "That's great you finished that project. It reminds me of this much bigger project I'm about to start." Your joy, instead of being amplified by sharing it, is minimized. It's like bringing a bright candle into a room only to have them immediately blow it out. But the drain doesn't always come from what's said. Often it's quieter. It's a look from across the table while you're telling a story, a subtle shift in their tone of voice, a small comment that on the surface sounds fine, but has an undercurrent of judgment. It's a powerful, almost invisible form of criticism because there's nothing concrete to point to. If you call them on it, they'll say you're being too sensitive. But you feel it, that constant low grade of unapproval that makes you feel like you're being graded and you're just not making the cut.
That feeling of not enough can seep into your bones, even when they don't say a word. Which brings us to the biggest, most confusing sign of all. The feeling of being completely exhausted by someone, and yet feeling this bizarre, powerful obligation to stay. Your logical brain is screaming, "This is unhealthy. This connection leaves me feeling worse every single time." But something keeps you tethered. A thread of guilt, a fear of their reaction if you pull away, a complex knot of attachment. You know the relationship is off balance, but the thought of ending it feels impossible. This is how emotional drainers work. They don't take your energy all at once. They work slowly. They take little by little, a slow, steady leak, hoping you won't notice your reserves are empty until it's too late. If even one of these signs sent a jolt of recognition through you, please listen to that feeling. That's not just a stray thought. That is your energy system sounding an alarm, trying to protect you. You deserve relationships that feel like a safe harbor, not a storm you constantly have to navigate. You deserve connections that are warm, safe, and balanced, not ones that drain your soul drop by drop. If you want to explore how to start setting boundaries, let me know in the comments. But for now, just remember this: your energy is precious. Protect it.